Talk some Aaron Rodgers now. We have been talking about his future in Green Bay ever since they traded up for quarterback Jordan Love last year. Then, of course, Rodgers went out, won the MVP, and he said earlier this offseason he doesn't want to be a lame duck. Yesterday, Rodgers gave us a peek into what happens now. Take a listen.
We're exactly where we were last year when I made comments after the draft and throughout the season. You know, I don't feel like any of that's changed. Even my comments directly after the last game, there was some, and we talked about it on this show.
Yeah.
Some people who thought, who made assumptions based on what I said. Nothing's really changed. You know, my future is really, a lot of it's out of my control. That's why I mentioned, using words like a phrase like beautiful mystery, because it is quite uncertain which directions that things are going to go. All I can do is play my best, and I feel like last year I did do that, and may have thrown a wrench into some timelines that may have been thought about or desired. But ultimately, things haven't really changed on that front. I meant what I said last year, about really being at peace with the whole thing, and that hasn't changed. I feel good about the way I played. Feel good about the way I led. I loved, our interactions and everything that this show provided for me last year, and I think people got a raw look at, honest conversation.
Always some shades of gray there with Aaron Rodgers. Hey, Brian Westbrook back with us now. Brian, what do you make of the latest chapter in this Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay Packers drama?
I think Aaron Rodgers continues to be one of the most honest players that we have in our league, especially when he goes on with Pat McAfee. I think he spoke his truth, and I think he's absolutely right. The Green Bay Packers would have had a much easier transition to Jordan Love if Aaron Rodgers didn't go out and have an MVP season, like I told Nick as well as Brandon that he was going to have an MVP season. If he didn't do that, then they had a great transition to Jordan Love. But he did throw a monkey wrench into it. He did put him in a position now where the Packers, if they're smart, they're saying we can't get rid of this guy at all. But here's the thing: if the Packers somehow bump their head and say we're going to move on from Aaron Rodgers, all he has to do is look at Tom Brady and take a playbook, or take a page out of his playbook. Listen, you spent 20 years in New England. No one thought that he was going to be leaving, but now he finds a home in Tampa Bay, a team full of talent, a team that's all they needed was a leader and a guy that can throw the ball around the field and not throw it to the other team. And if Aaron Rodgers can find that team somewhere else and then go win there, to me, he's in the best of both worlds. He can either stay with the Packers, which I think he wants to, or if the Packers bump their head, he goes to a different team that hopefully is stacked, he can win again. To me, that's a great combination for him. And Brandon, when you think about it, this should be simple for the Packers. If Aaron Rodgers is able to throw the football and he wants to play, then you keep him there in Green Bay. You never let a guy like this, that type of talent, outside of your locker room.
Listen, something's wrong with Aaron Rodgers, and I absolutely love it. You are right. He is real. He's authentic. He is telling us exactly how he feels. This dude is enjoying this. Think about it. We, as NFL players, we are taught and trained not to rock the boat, not to create any distractions. He is leaning into this every opportunity he gets. This comes down to one thing. It comes down to money. That's what it comes down to. Like you said, if he can still do it, which he can, he won MVP. Great job calling that out. Nobody thought, he would win MVP, especially the time when you said he would win MVP. Nobody was talking about Aaron Rodgers. But anyways, he can still do it, so you keep the guy. So right now, it's about, is this a 4-year deal? How much of it is guaranteed? Is it a 2-year deal? And you can see the Green Bay Packers' hesitancy. This dude is 38. Is it 2 years, 3 years? Is he going to be the next Tom Brady? And Aaron Rodgers is saying, I'm going to continue to play. So Nick, that comes down to money. That's all it is. And it's about, Jordan Love sitting there, and every time he gets an opportunity to shove it in their face, he's doing it.
All right. If you guys are right, and he really is enjoying this, and I don't have a relationship with Aaron, but if I did, this is the advice I would give him. Because there is a card that all of a sudden he can play that's never been available to him until right now. And before I even say what that is, Wilds, let me ask you a quick question. I can be mostly rhetorical, I guess. The best job, the highest paying job in media on a per minute worked basis. Do you know what it is? Off the top of your head, you can just give it a guess. Do you know what it is?
Per minute, like announcing the 100-meter dash.
Oh yeah, that's good, but no, it is the number one is to be a television
Monday
judge.
Night Football.
Judge Judy records like 12 days a year, makes
sure.
like $75 million. Right behind that, game show host. It's about a $10 million a year job. Rodgers said yesterday, I'd like to do both. Host Jeopardy full-time and play quarterback for the Packers. Rodgers has never been able to be like, I'll go play baseball. You know what he could do after a successful 2 weeks of hosting Jeopardy? Say, guys, I love this. There's no travel. Nobody hits me. It doesn't pay quite as well as you guys pay, but I can do it for 30 years. So you guys do what you want with Jordan Love. But my options are pretty open because they include this, which I'm good at, I'm awesome, and it also pays, what's that, 8 figures a year. Now, I don't know how many people will take him seriously about it, but I think Tony Romo ended up choosing television over going back and playing quarterback because it pays really well and the hours are really good. And so we have seen different guys. Kyler Murray flirted with baseball. Russell Wilson at different times has flirted with baseball. Rodgers doesn't have that. I wonder if he wants to flirt with Jeopardy a little bit more because he did also say in that interview he wants that job full-time in addition to playing quarterback for the Packers. Maybe he can press a little, and I'm being slightly tongue-in-cheek here, but not really. If he's willing to go on McAfee's show and just continue throwing bombs, he could up the ante one more degree and just see if Green Bay still says, no, we're going to hedge our bet with Jordan Love. So I'd like to see if Rodgers will escalate it a step further.
Brian, I see you shaking your head, but before I see why, here's the tricky spot if you're a producer of Jeopardy. I don't think you want to keep on guest hosting. At some point, the people who run Jeopardy are going to say, like, all right, let's make a call here. Let's make a decision. Who do we have? I don't think they're going to wait for Aaron Rodgers to play out 2 more years. So I actually love this idea. We know that he likes it. So it seems like you think it's more of a fantasy, but I'm agreeing with Nick. I think this is more reality than people are giving it credit for.
You know, I think it's a fantasy. It may be a one after your football career is over, but the difference between Tony Romo and Aaron Rodgers is the conversation of one of the greatest of all time. Tony Romo was never in that conversation. Aaron Rodgers is. And so if you're talking about Aaron Rodgers, you're talking about chasing rings. So you have to go, you could go host Jeopardy, and that's cool, and that ought to be fun. But you go win a couple more rings so that now you're in that conversation of 2 and 3 rings, and now you're in the upper echelon of the conversation of the quarterbacks in the NFL. To me, I think that's going to be his #1 goal, not necessarily hosting Jeopardy.
Yeah, and then also there's too much compete left in him. Talked about this before. Man, have they wasted his career out in Green Bay? You mean to tell me Aaron Rodgers has 1 ring? He's won the championship 1 time? Come on, this dude has that in the back of his head. He's not going out there and host any TV show or sit on anybody's desk right now at this moment. He's also talked about that's not what he want to do as far as talk about sports anyways. So when you look at this, Nick, why is this different? And I'm pushing the conversation forward just a little bit. Because he also, some of the comments that he made this weekend was, oh, I'm not going to do what Russell Wilson is doing. Like, I won't do that. This is exactly what Russell Wilson is doing. They're utilizing the media and their platform to create leverage.
It's a list.
But Brent, can I just jump in a second? I think when you, Nick, when you talk about Russell Wilson, you get this idea that Russell Wilson he's bothered, he's upset, he's hurt by whatever the organization has not done for him out there in Seattle. I think there's a part of Aaron Rodgers that likes this, that likes being a little cryptic with his answers, that likes sort of throwing stuff out there to just sort of test the waters. I think he's enjoying this. I think before I thought he was disgruntled. I don't think he is. I think you're right, Nick. He's in the driver's seat. He knows what he wants. He's coming off an MVP season. He's got time in front of him. He's comfortable. He knows he's good. I think he's enjoying the way he's playing with the media a little bit. What do you think?
Well, he might be enjoying playing with the media. He does not. He does not enjoy that they've drafted Jordan Love. He does not enjoy that he felt that he had to sing for his supper last year. And I do appreciate everyone on the show taking my insane Jeopardy take somewhat seriously. It was somewhat tongue-in-cheek. But the point that I'm trying to make is this, Brandon. I think the Packers want to have it both ways. The Packers want to have one of the best quarterbacks in the league playing for them, while also having their replacement get groomed, get ready, and waiting in the wings. And I think Rodgers, that's the issue that he can press. He can't make them draft a certain position. He can't make them spend money in free agency. I do wonder if he could make them trade Jordan Love. I do wonder if he could say, guys, I don't want to come to work every day being reminded that you guys thought I was cooked.
He doesn't care about Jordan Love, though,
I want you to use that asset on something else.
Listen, he's a lion. Lions ain't wasting his time with a sheep. Think about that. Jordan Love, there ain't no competition there. So he don't care if Jordan Love is on the roster. He just want his money. You guys went out there, made a bad move, a terrible decision. Westbrook's MVP went out there, lit it up. Right now it's about, now you got to pay me. That's what he talked about out there. So that's what that is. And Jenna, this is what I would say to what you said. In the NFL, you're trained not to be a distraction. So for him to sit up here and make these comments, going back to the NFL draft last year,